Hello, everybody. I was just working on something else, listening to Talk TV while I was, working away. And I heard this gentleman talking. I thought I'd record it and then use it as a bit of content. And obviously, I'll give my own take as well. But I think it's really interesting what this gentleman has to say. I think this gentleman that's about to be introduced has a good understanding of maybe British history better than what all the communists do. So anyway, I'll get into it.
Something. Let's speak to Aman Bhogal, founding chairman of Global Britain UK. Good afternoon to you, Aman.
Good afternoon, Ian.
Nice to see you again as well.
And as we can see already, he's got two Union flags or Union Jacks, whichever word you want to use. So he's quite clearly pro-British. And look, he has the British flag and the Indian flag. He's proud of both heritages. And I personally, I have no issue with people being proud of both heritages. If I succeed in having a Filipino wife, as is the idea, and I have mixed race children, I will very much want my children to be proud of both halves of their identity. So I see this as being a very good thing.
This is turned into you're a British Indian and you love the flag. So the idea that this is sort of carved up down ethnic lines is a nonsense, right?
Absolutely. I think it's, in fact, what we've seen in Tower Hamlets is a real indictment of multiculturalism, which has been foisted on this country under the Blairite orthodoxy of the last 3 decades. I mean, let's be honest, Ian. I mean, for me, as an immigrant, who made Britain his home, for me and millions like me, the Union flag has always served as, a ground root.
Exactly. It's a ground root. It is the thing that can unite us all. Everybody in the Commonwealth should be united around this instead of trying to victimize people like me and other white people in the country just because we come from the UK and the UK has a history of colonization. Doesn't mean we're evil people and we should be taken advantage of. And I think this man understands it. He understands the greater good that the British Empire had on the world. And he's obviously benefited from it. This individual, he's probably much better off now than he would have been if Britain would never have conquered India.
Of integration as British. It's the flag which unites us all, acting as a declaration of our love and affinity for Britain. A gesture of respect for our civilizational inheritance. A real nod in awe of the freedoms afforded to us by Britain. What I would say, Ian, our glorious Union flag tells a civilizational story of who we are as a great nation, what we value, freedom, liberty, and democracy. We are a force for good and a beacon of hope. I would say, for most British people, the red, white, and blue is a...
He talks really fast, so I struggle trying to get a word in here. But Great Britain, or the UK, or England, as we were before the Acts of Union, was a force for good in the world. Slavery would probably still be normal practice had it not been for Britain. We were the ones that forced everybody else to stop it during Pax Britannica. And although Google likes to not admit that, he likes to say that we didn't force people. We definitely did. Controlled the transatlantic slave trade, forced Spain and Portugal to give up. And I know in the Philippines, it was Great Britain that signed the treaty with Spain to make slavery illegal in all of the Spanish colonies. But I know, because I've done more research on the Philippines than any of the other Spanish colonies, that had it not been for Britain, Spain might not have made slavery illegal in the Philippines. So we had such a massive impact on the world, unlike any other empire the world has ever seen. We introduced the world to medicine, hygiene, toilets, so many things. Like we invented the first vaccine with Edward Jenner. Obviously, many people about the smallpox thing, and I know some people say the milkmaid discovered it, but it's sort of like she wouldn't have been able to spread the message anyway. She probably didn't understand it anyway. She just maybe noticed that she didn't get sick, reported it to Edward Jenner, and then he did the actual hard work. But I've kind of gone off a tangent there. But yeah, it's completely correct. Great Britain is a great force for good. No country like us prior and no country like us after. I don't want to pick beef with the Americans, but there hasn't been peace underneath America since they've been the global power. But there was peace under Britain.
Profoundly potent declaration of why we are proud of Britain and what our identity is. And I think that's exactly why it's so disgraceful when local councils tear down Union flags and the cross of St. George.
Just triggered me. Every single one of them flags was the wrong way around. I think, is the right way.
We are a
He's got
force
is
for
the right
good
way
and a
around.
beacon of hope. I think
mean,
I would say for
some
most
of this
British
might be
people, the red,
just,
white, and blue
which
is
way
a
around the world.
profoundly potent declaration of why we are proud of Britain and what
so
our
that
identity
one's the wrong
is.
way round.
And I think that's why
They're the
exactly
wrong way
why
round.
it's
That's
so
the wrong way
disgraceful
round.
when local councils tear down Union flags in
That
the
one's
cross
the
of
wrong
St
way
George,
round.
put up proudly by
single
local
one.
people.
Yeah.
And I think it's clearly proof, if any was needed, of the caustic failures of state-sponsored multiculturalism when a flag of free Palestine or free Kashmir can fly for 6 months and longer.
Yep.
I think it's about time that we got rid of this whole confused identity of, this wishy-washy nation without borders, a home for everyone but a home of no one.
Sure.
I think it's about time that we, look, it's our flag and we'll fly.
They're the right way round. As you see, like that, these stripes, should be, they go around in like an anti-clockwise fashion, I suppose. That's the way I always look at it. So they should always be the closest to the side that they would be going anti-clockwise, and they are all correct.
Bloody well where we like it.
100%. And the thing is, what's interesting about this conversation, Aman, is it's not even controversial, right? It's a flag. It's a flag of a country. Loads of countries, as I...
Yeah, and I've said this on another video, but I'm going to presume this is my first video you've come across of mine. In the Philippines, where I'm going, there's none of this. They're allowed to have their flag. They're allowed to be proud of it, blah, 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 blah. But yet we aren't. We appear to be the only country that is not allowed to be proud of our flag. And it's completely preposterous. And this is why this is occurring. Try and take things from people and say they're not allowed them. It's like when A Clockwork Orange was banned. It just made it more popular. So this malarkey with the flag, trying to make it sort of declaration of extremism, etc., it's just backfiring colossally. It's going to push Britain in a direction of more violence. And just again, for the 700th time on these videos, I am not in favour of civil war or revolution. Committed to the parliamentary process, but you have to be an idiot to not look at the way the wind is blowing here and think that things are going to go south at some point.
A previous guest said, do it really well. Outside government buildings, you will always find those flags. Outside local council offices, you will always find those flags. There seems to be almost an effort by some to either disguise it at best, or at worst, just get rid of it.
Well, indeed. I mean, look, you land at JFK, New York, you'll be greeted by the Stars and Stripes. I was with a team in...
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's a bit cringe that Americans pledge allegiance to the flag. That's a bit weird. That's a bit German. That's what the Nazis used to do, right? So that is very strange, and I'm aware they do that in the Philippines as well. And I think most other countries find it strange pledging allegiance to a flag, but at least they're allowed to do so, and at least they are encouraged to be proud of that flag. We haven't got the counter example like we have, where we're almost like ashamed of the flag, and it's seen as like being, I don't know, a bad thing. Like, I had some neighbours who were Muslim quite recently, right? And they've moved out now. But they had an England flag up when England were in the last tournament last year, in the Euros. I think they only put it up about maybe the quarter-final, semi-final period, so they didn't have it up all tournament. But they still got behind it, and that's nice. Why should we deter people who are not born here or originally English from trying to assimilate into the culture if they so desire? We should allow that.
Delhi last year for their general elections, and the first thing you see when you enter Delhi airport is a 100-foot high tricolour, Indian tricolour, soaring high in the sky. It unites 1 billion Indians.
Is that the name of it then? I never knew what the name of the Indian flag was. A tricolour.
And the same should be true for our union flag. It unites us as a nation. It tells the story of who we are and where we want to go. But you know what, Ian? I think when Britain sees local mayors raising foreign flags to celebrate, foreign independence days at British town halls, we see hostile crowds.
Yeah, and another thing, I might make a video on this, but I think personally that Britain, UK, England, whichever term you want to use, we should have an Independence Day. We've become independent from a few people, like the Romans, the Vikings. There's probably some others I can't think of at this exact moment in time, but we could certainly celebrate an Independence Day from the Roman Empire. I don't see why we can't have that. We must be one of the only countries in the world that doesn't have an Independence Day. I think, as far as where, I think even like, I might be wrong about this. I might have just seen it on a meme, but I think even Russia celebrates independence from Poland. I think. I mean, I might be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments and educate me on that one. But yeah, why can't we have one? And why are we celebrating the Independence Day of former colonies? Why would we celebrate that? Like the USA doesn't celebrate the independence of the Philippines. You know what I mean? It's completely cockamamie weirdness.
Crowds of unintegrated third or fourth generation immigrants, and our own assortment of homegrown Hamas-loving, Pakistan-friendly, these Marxist mugwumps, more at home flying sectarian Free Palestine or Free Kashmir flags than treating the Union flag as some sort of foreign hostile. I think that then the nation really wants to know, what on earth are you doing here in Britain?
It's a very weird situation, isn't it? And of course, local councils who are so scared that they're going to be accused of an ism or something like that. We've seen this with lots of stories of protocol and things you're not meant to say, and people you can't even refer to a husband and wife now who've got married in case you offend someone in Greenwich, apparently, like anyone cares. But nonetheless, that's the sort of time they have on their hands. These are the very people whose parochial thinking takes us to this very place. Oh, we better get rid of the flag. We might offend someone.
Indeed, Ian. I think the truth is, Ian, I think most people in this country have had enough of this 3 decades of what I call the Blairite orthodoxy, where patriotism has been besmirched as a dirty word. Nation first patriots have been maligned by the legacy media and the metropolitan liberal establishment elite as far right. I mean, let's be honest. And let's also not forget, Ian, I think far too many legacy politicos for far too long have turned out to be border polishing, Janus-faced plastic patriots who've used our national flag as a mere prop. Yeah. And I think, look, if we are to protect our great civilizational inheritance, conserve Britain as Britain, I think the flag has a very central role to play in that. And I think...
Yeah, of course, flags have power. That's why the communists have so many. It's weird that these lefties get so upset about our flag when they have like 17,000 flags. They have like a trans flag, they have the LGBT flag, so they know that flags represent power.
It's about time where we stop in its track, this mad self-immolations of the very foundations of our national unity, and that the Union flag. And it's about time, I would say. Look, the bottom line is, this great red, white and blue, Ian, I think, let's not let any jumped up left walla town hall busybody tear down our flag in our own country. Look, this is my flag. This is your flag. This is our flag. Yeah. We should be proud to fly it and be a patriot.
It's a fabulously powerful but very simple point. Aman, thank you as ever for your time. Really lovely to have you on again. Aman Bhogal, he's the founding chairman of...
Yeah. Very good point, and we need more people like him, to be honest. More people willing to come forward and be proud of being at least mixed nationality. Otherwise, things are going to get complicated here. We're going to be made out to be just like white supremacists. But as you can see, it's not a case of race. It's a case of like, do you find nationality to be important or not? And I kind of think these leftists, they don't think nationality is important at all, unless somebody's Palestinian, and then it's very, very, very important. Same with Israeli, and your nationality is super important. If you're not from them two places, then nope, doesn't matter. We're all just exactly the same cretins. But yeah, I'm going to leave this one here anyway. The link will be in the description if you want to watch this without me yammering on, and I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo.